With internationally recognised Record Store Day bringing crowds back to independent vinyl shops the world over, it's easy to overlook the small-town music market. With the closure of its decades-old music shop Rhythmic, Greenock Town Centre is just one of many small towns benefiting from the Allander Touring Record Fair.
Unfortunately, there's not enough trade to keep a lot of local record shops going, 365 days of the year. There tends to be in most towns a group of people that are really interested in their music, and they'll be our regular customers that come down every time, and then we get a lot of passing trade. And for instance, yesterday in Edinburgh we had loads of tourists and especially interested in the vinyl.
With records undergoing something of a renaissance and large-scale conglomerates such as HMV falling into administration, what does it mean for the weekend industry?
It's become more of a niche market for the vinyl. I mean, obviously you've got downloads, and for bands now the live aspect is much more important than selling actual hard copies of CDs and vinyl. For bands, make the money gigging now, much more than the old days where they could make a much greater percentage of their money on sales of CDs and records.
Especially independent record shops, it's good that vinyl's taken off. It's more popular than ever, really, I would say.
Well, HMV were lacking decent management for years, and they were so far behind the times. When the market changed drastically and the CDs died, they were really slow to catch on to that. And the move over to vinyl, only now, maybe 5 years after the start of the sort of vinyl renaissance, HMV's catching up. They're beginning to stock vinyl again and moving in, but they were really slow to pick up. Like a lot of big organisations find it harder to react to changes than maybe smaller sort of outfits.
I'd be over the moon if they went under. I'd be really over the moon. I'd jump for joy. We don't need Virgin Megastore, HMV, any of those big stores. I'd much prefer it was all independent. Folk Records are meant to be a subsidiary, but they are a subsidiary of HMV, and they've tried to muscle in the Record Shop Act. But I think most people would know that they're just part of a bigger store. I've got no time for big stores in general, really. It's just a pity the high street in general.
Despite existing as a separate entity from Record Store Day, the Allander Record Fair seems to have the same end goal at heart: to aid the music market and get customers back into buying tangible music, locally if possible.
The lad that advertises or organises this record fair, we are organised every week, so it's not necessarily in with Record Store Day, even though I just happen to be wearing a Record Store t-shirt.
It's really helped. A couple of my friends still have independent record shops. There's very few left in Scotland, but Record Store Day's really done a lot to help them survive, because they've really been struggling, shops doing new product and new records, so that's really helped them, and it helps really just highlight vinyl and records being out there, and in the interest it helps to really encourage people to go out and start searching for vinyl.
Owing to the continued increase in popularity and methods of regenerating public interest, it would appear the local music business is still far from its vinyl resting place.